Are you tired of losing? We've all been there where it seems like you just can't catch a break. There are a lot of reasons why a game may not go your way, but there are some things you can do today that will drastically increase your chances of winning, so let's get into it. What's up everybody, my name is Lethal, and in today's video I'm going to talk about 3 areas you need to improve in that will make you better at Fortnite. Whether you're on console or PC, these tips are pretty much universal and can be used on any platform. Number 1. Aim. Aim is one of the most important skills you can have in shooting games. Simply put, you're not going to win very often if you can't hit your shots. One of the biggest factors of your aim is going to be sensitivity. You want the sensitivity that you can control and be accurate with, but you also want to be able to quickly turn around when someone is beside you or behind you. So which is better, high or low sensitivity? It is a fact that the majority of Fortnite top tier players use Low Sens. If you're missing your shots or can't control your aim very well, the best thing you can probably do is go ahead and lower your settings. On controller, Low Sense is around 4 or 40% in the advanced settings. A good aim down sight sense for controller is around 10% or lower. Now on mouse, all you have to do is take your DPI or dots per inch, which can be found in your gaming mouse software on PC, then multiply it by your in-game sense. This final number is called your eDPI or effective dots per inch. So for example, if you use 800 DPI for your mouse and your in-game sense is around 5%, your eDPI is 40. Low eDPI is going to be anything lower than 50, while high eDPI is anything 80 and above. And by the way, a good target sense for mouse is around 30%. If you're struggling to aim, consider lowering your in-game sensitivity and you will definitely start to see a benefit in your accuracy. Practice. So with whatever sensitivity you decide to use, the most obvious thing you can do next is practice your aim in creative mode. You can either do this with friends in aim duels or find a good aim course by yourself using the browse feature. 10 to 15 minutes a day of aim training is really all you need to start seeing improvement. The best time to do this is right before you hop into online matches. That way you won't waste any games warming up. Recoil Smoothing. Probably the easiest thing you can do is called Recoil Smoothing. When you're shooting an AR or SMG in Fortnite, it's going to drag your sights up and above the target you're trying to hit. Recoil smoothing can be as simple as pulling down slightly on your mouse or right joystick while holding down the trigger. This is going to help you hit more of your shots. Every weapon has a different amount of recoil, so you might have to pull down more when using certain weapons than you do with others. Tap fire. The next aim tip that I have is the tap fire or to shoot in small bursts instead of holding down the trigger the whole time. There are a few good reasons for this. Not only will you save ammo, but you will be able to shoot for longer without reloading. It will also help to reduce the amount of recoil your weapon has. Tapfire is very useful at medium to long range, and it's especially good when you're going for headshot damage. Use first shot accuracy. Now with ARs, SMGs, and pistols, you also get what's called first shot accuracy when you aim down sights and stand perfectly still. You'll know when you have first shot accuracy because your crosshair spread will shrink. If you pause long enough between each shot, you will continue to have perfect accuracy as long as you're not moving your left joystick or pressing the keyboard movement keys. Hit weak spots. Finally, if you play build mode, you'll notice that when you're harvesting with your pickaxe, blue circles will appear. It might seem like a hassle, especially on controller, but if you can, hit the blue spots if you don't already. Not only does it help you to harvest faster, but it's literally free aim training. This is particularly useful if you don't want to practice. Number 2, building and editing. If you want to improve at building and editing, you need to make a habit of going into creative mode and either free building or doing an editing course, as well as having the proper settings. So let's go over the basics. The first thing you want to do is make sure you're using the confirm edit on release setting. It's hands down the fastest way to edit, simple as that. Next, if you're on controller, make sure you have reset building choice switched on. This way you can build walls immediately when you go into build mode. Then make sure that auto open doors is turned on. The reason why is simple. When you're editing your walls and you happen to mess up and make a door edit, you'll still be able to walk through without wasting too much time. The final setting to consider is the disable pre-edit option. This is intended to keep you from pre-editing your builds by mistake, but it's also been known to add considerable input delay. It's best if you have this option off. Moving on. One of the most useful things you can do is shoot then build a wall immediately. Oftentimes a big problem that most players have is that they don't start building until they've taken a lot of damage. Building right away in a fight will save you a lot of trouble. This technique is useful in close quarters with shotguns. It will let you hit your shot then have instant protection. Once you've built a wall, you need to get comfortable with making a smart edit, shooting, and then resetting your wall. What makes an edit smart as opposed to not smart is that it gives you cover to hide behind so that you don't get shot when you do it. Also, the faster you can do this, the better. This is where practicing an edit course comes in handy. Next tip is boxing yourself in. This is pretty obvious, but to box in, simply start with 4 walls and turn all the way around, then switch to floors, look up then down, then roof pieces, up then down. Boxing in can be useful in many situations. For example, when you're rebooting your team at a reboot van. You can also box yourself in during a build fight to give yourself time to heal. In many situations, you want to make 2 full boxes to spread yourself out. This way, if one of your walls get taken or shot out, you'll have somewhere to go to. So let's talk about ramp rushing. Ramp rushing is going to give you protection and height while you get closer to an enemy that you're actively fighting. It's also a good way to start out a build fight. Now you could just build single ramps when you're rushing, but these can be shot out easily. Instead, you should build protected ramps by adding a floor and wall to each layer. To do this, start off by building a ramp. Make sure you're looking down at an angle but not too far down. Then build a floor and a wall underneath it. Ramp, floor, wall in that order. If the floor is built above your head, you're looking up too far. Same goes for the walls. While starting a build fight specifically, you want to focus on blocking your opponent off with ramps or placing roof pieces above them to slow them down if they start to get high ground. High ground is a huge advantage in build fights, so you want to take it for yourself whenever possible. Sometimes you'll be ramping up to an enemy that already has the high ground. In this situation, while running up your ramps, you can build a roof piece over your head for protection, then edit the corner of it. This will break the roof piece so that you can keep moving with more ramps. Now it's time to learn 90s. 90s are a useful way to get high ground in a build fight. To perform a 90, place one wall in front of you and turn right with the second wall. Jump and place a floor ramp. Run up the left side of that ramp and place a wall in front of you, look right with the second wall, jump, then floor ramp again. When placing the floor, just like with ramp rushing, make sure that you're looking down at an angle so the floors don't build above your head. If you're having the problem of falling underneath your ramps, make sure you're jumping right before you switch to a ramp and not at the same time. If you're falling off the left side of your builds, it's probably because you're forgetting a wall. Also, try holding your left joystick to the right or pressing D while you're jumping. Number 3. Decision making. Believe it or not, the choices you make can be the main reason why you aren't winning fights or matches. There are tons of decisions, good and bad, that determine what happens in the game. From the moment you jump from the battle bus, every single thing you do has consequences, so here are some good decisions that you can make that will improve your games. Landing. Before you jump, open your map while you're still on the bus and mark the spot you want to land at. Close your map and wait till you're 1,000 meters from your marker, then leave the bus. You can even have a decent landing from about 800 meters away. If there are mountains underneath you or hills, try aiming your dive at the lowest point possible, like a valley or river, so that you get closer to the ground before opening your glider. It's going to take some practice to get a perfect landing, so good luck. Loot quickly. When gliding in, you want to land on a weapon or chest. The most important thing is to be able to defend yourself, so loot quickly. Find a full loadout as soon as possible. This could be a shotgun SMG AR or shotgun AR sniper / DMR, for example. For your other item slots, try to hold fast heals like minis, chug splashes or slurpfish over half shields or shield kegs, and med mist or floppers over things like med kits and bandages. It's good to even carry mobility items like shockwaves so you can get in and out of situations. Stay close to your team. There's nothing worse than when a teammate goes off by themselves and dies. I shouldn't have to say this, but don't be that person. Land with your team. Not so close that you're opening the same chests, but close enough that if something goes wrong, you'll have some help. And don't just land together, but stay together the entire match. This means don't go off on your own to do things like opening vaults, finding loot, or to complete challenges. Your fights will be so much easier when you aren't doing it all by yourself. Third-party enemies. The next thing you can do is always be on the lookout for fights that are going on around you. When enemy teams are distracted and fighting each other, this is a perfect opportunity to attack them. There may be players on each team that are weak or even knocked. Third-partying 2 weak teams will be much easier than fighting a full healthy team. If you think about it, you'll be doing yourself a favor. When third-partying, keep a safe distance until you know exactly what's going on. If there are other teams also third-partying, you don't want to get caught up in the middle. The perfect third-party situation is at the end of a game when there's only your team and 2 other teams left. If you catch the last 2 teams fighting, your team can swoop in and clean them both out. Communicate. Although I waited till the end for this, communication is still one of the most important tips in this video. Good communication gives your team information that they normally wouldn't have. So any chance you get, talk to your team, even if it's the smallest helpful thing. For example, pinging items that your team could use is extremely helpful. Don't just say where it is, but actually mark it. This will save them the time of having to look for items that they need. Another thing is using your red enemy marker. It's one thing to call out enemy players, and that's good, but also using your marker by double tapping your ping button is the quickest way to let your team know where enemies are. Now sometimes the marker can get in the way, so as soon as your team knows where the enemy is, remove your marker so they can see better. Next is a little obvious, but when you're shooting an enemy, call out how much damage you've done to them, or if you've cracked their shield, which has a very distinct sound, and try to say which skin too. This will let your team know who to focus in case you have an enemy player weak. And if you don't already use it, try turning on visualized sound effects. Enabling visualized sound effects won't change the audio at all, but you'll have an indicator showing you exactly what each sound is. This will give you the exact information that you need to tell your team. For example, footsteps show up farther than you can normally hear, and it also tells you how many sets of footsteps there are, or how many people are gliding and their direction. You can also see when enemy players are using the chrome splashes, riding an animal nearby, driving a vehicle, rebooting, shooting weapons, and healing, not to mention zip lines. All of these things you can tell to your team. Finally, there are also times when your team may need silence so they can hear what's going on. So if you're fighting, try to be short and to the point when you give callouts. And if you get knocked or eliminated, give information that helps your teammates that are still alive, but don't throw a fit or rage out loud. Let them hear so they can clutch up. So that's going to be all for this video. I hope that you got something out of it. If there are any tips you think I missed, let me know down in the comments section so I can attempt to cover them in the future. Otherwise, that's all for now, and we'll see you in the next one.